So Balanced Comfort Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is a heating air conditioning company here in Fresno, California, and we specialize in applying for and helping our customers with any or all of the incentives available. It's our goal to provide customers with all of the information and let them decide on whether or not they want to take advantage of the rebates or not. And you'll find out what some of the conditions are for each specific rebate program. And there's quite a few out there, so it can get a little bit confusing. There is obviously no guarantee of any incentives or rebates being applicable to every household. Each situation is different. That's why you need a trained professional like Balanced Comfort to help you with that. And then lastly, we are not tax advisors. So if we talk about tax credits being available, I can't guarantee that those tax incentives are going to be something that you can take advantage of. We're simply offering this is out there. Check with your CPA as far as any tax credits. That would be your best option. So the switcheson.org is probably the best resource to start with. It's going to have all of the relevant information for what rebates are available now. Say for a single family home that's going to be installing a heat pump system, or I think they call it space conditioning, heating / cooling. The switcheson.org goes over the heat pump federal tax credit, which is up to 30% or $2,000. Most customers, if they're eligible for the tax credit, could get that $2,000 tax credit back, and that would be on next year's taxes. And again, that's something you'd want to check with your CPA or whoever handles your taxes for you. There are conditions that the system has to meet, the heat pump system that you put in has to meet certain energy efficiency requirements in order to get that $2,000 federal tax credit. So not every system that is a heat pump will qualify for that tax credit. So that's why it's important to work with someone like us in order to help make sure that you would be eligible for those tax credits. The next incentive program I want to talk about is something that was out about a year ago, went away for a bit, and then just recently came back. It actually just relaunched last week, and that's the Tech Clean California program. The Tech Clean California program offers up to $1,000 for 2 heat pump systems per household. So you can get $1,000 for the first one and $1,000 for the second one if they're both replaced under this program while the funds for this program are still available. And that's an issue that we ran into last year. That program launched in December of 21 and was expected to be a 3-year program. 4 months later, they said, we're out of funds, the program's got to shut down. So if these incentive programs are of interest to you, we encourage you to act sooner than later, just because we can't guarantee the funding availability of these programs. So that's the Tech Clean California program. Now, any heat pump installed in certain areas in California will qualify for that program. Again, Central Valley, Fresno areas and surrounding areas, we're good to go. So we can help you with that rebate process. That's $1,000 that you get back after the system is installed. The next one I want to talk about is the Energy Smart Homes program. Now, this one is a little bit more complex because it requires that you do more than just the heat pump. Now, you have to have a gas-fired furnace, so a natural gas heating system that we're switching over to an electric heat pump, in addition to switching your natural gas water heater over to a heat pump water heater. So those 2 items are the minimum requirement. Additionally, your dryer as well as your oven and stove have to be electric as well. Now, if they're already electric, you're in good shape. You don't have to replace them. But if you have a gas dryer and or you have a gas stove or oven, those need to be switched out over to electric. The goal of the Energy Smart Homes program is to switch everything in the house over to electricity. And at the minimum, you have to have a gas furnace and gas water heater that get changed over. If you already have a heat pump or if you already have an electric water heater, this program would not apply. But if it does, and this is something that's of interest to you, then that's $5,500, potentially more if you need a panel upgrade, but that's $5,500 that you could potentially get back through the Energy Smart Homes program. So far, we're looking at $7,500, $8,500 in incentives available between the tax credits and the other two programs. The other program that's available is called the Burn Cleaner California program. Now, this program is through the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District, and that program actually provides up to $5,000 if you have a wood-burning fireplace, not a natural gas fireplace, but if you have a traditional style wood-burning fireplace, you may qualify for $5,000 if you install a heat pump and you decommission that fireplace. Meaning we, in most cases, are going out and we are capping the top of that fireplace off with cement, or we are removing the flue, if that's possible, from the house and then putting a cap on that system so that the fireplace can't be used again. The primary benefits there are reduced air pollution from not having wood-burning fireplaces in homes anymore. Most people that I know, especially in the valley, if you suffer from allergies, you've probably never touched that fireplace. It's never been lit. And so this would be a way that if you have a wood-burning fireplace and you have a gas heating system, you could get that pulled out and then put in a brand new heat pump system and get $5,000 back. That is a bit more of a complex application process, but not to worry, we handle all of that for you from start to finish, and then you'd get $5,000 back for that. So last year, it was announced that the Inflation Reduction Act was going to provide thousands upon thousands of dollars in rebates for upgrading your home, mostly to electricity, but to make it more efficient. Now, rewiringamerica.org is the site that I found to provide the most information on the Inflation Reduction Act incentives. You have to get pretty deep in the weeds, which for your benefit I have, to understand all of the Inflation Reduction Act, all the aspects of it. But the headlines have been $8,000 to install a new heat pump. Of course, with everything else, there is a catch to that. So it's not simply that you get $8,000 off a heat pump system. Now, I do need to pause and state that the Inflation Reduction Act incentives are not available right now, and we don't know when they will be available. They said middle of 23. Now they're saying late 23. Wouldn't surprise me if they said early 24. So those incentives are not available yet, but when they are available, the biggest program of all of them, I believe it's the acronym HERA, HEERHEA. That program will provide up to $8,000 of an incentive towards a heat pump system, but, and this is a big one, it's based on the area median income. So if you're just reading the headlines thinking that you're going to get $8,000 back if you install a heat pump once this program is established, you need to take a look at that area median income, because it's very likely for most of our customers that they're not going to get any of an incentive back. What they're doing is they're calculating your rebate based on the area median income, which for some parts in Fresno County is $53,000. So household income, based on the average in that area, it will depend on your zip code, and that's where going to the rewiringamerica.org is very helpful, because you can put in your household size, you can put in your income, and it will tell you, here's the incentives that you qualify for. Now, 80% or less of that area median income, and again, if that's $52,000, it'd be 80% of that, would qualify you for $8,000 in an incentive towards a heat pump system. If you're between 80% of that area median income and 150%, you get half of that. So you would get $4,000 towards a heat pump system. So it's really targeting those low and middle income households. And that's something that all of our customers, we want you to be aware of, because if you're waiting to install a heat pump system expecting to get a rebate through that program, it's likely that you may not get anything if you're above that 150% of the area median income, since you won't qualify for those incentives. Equipment we see continuing to get more expensive as well, And so you may wait thinking you're going to get an incentive later when some of the other incentives that are available now either expire or run out of money, and then that program is not even applicable. So if you'd like more information about the Inflation Reduction Act, that was rewiringamerica.org. And then there's also some additional FAQs that you can find on that site. If you go to rewiringamerica.org/app/FAQs. And that is some good information there. But yeah, this is the current incentives that are available now. We hope that you are able to take advantage of these, and Balanced Comfort is here to help you with the heating, air conditioning, or plumbing needs that you may have. Thank you for watching.